Hello there, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel for another encouraging card from my encouraging card series. This is number 24 in this series, so let's jump right into it. I have a lot of fun products from Simon Says Stamp that I plan to use today and several cardstock colors just from my stash. I have some cream cardstock that I have trimmed down to 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and I scored that at 4.25 inches. And I plan to make a shaped card. Now I've screwed that part up right there, and I fix it before I actually cut through. But at this point I had somebody talking to me, and so I wasn't completely thinking. I have some, it's called the Simon Says Stamp Wonky Hearts. That is what I'm putting through with that burgundy cardstock. I'm putting that through with my Big Shot. And then the other heart is one of the Simon Says Stamp hearts as well. So I'm running this through my Big Shot. And this wonky heart gives this really cool stitched look on the outside of that heart. I love it. That's going to be the front panel of my card. And at this point I realize I do need a fold in that card base, so I'm going to have to move my heart up just a little bit so that it doesn't cut all the way through. Now I could have fixed it if I had gone ahead and cut through like that, but I caught it before I did it. And so as you'll see, this will have, it doesn't have the top part of the heart, but that's okay. You won't see that. That'll be on the inside of the card. I also want my card to stand up straight, and so in order to do that, and just in case the recipient wants to like set the card out, I am trimming off the inside panel, the back inside panel. And that'll make sense when I show you on the inside of the card. For my images, I am using the Simon Says Stamp Right Meow stamps and dies. These are so stinking cute. They're whimsical little cats. And I'm going to stamp those out onto some 140-pound Strathmore watercolor paper. And I will ink those up with some Onyx black ink from VersaFine. This is a good ink for watercoloring because that's what I plan to do. So I'll stamp those out. I'm using my Mini Misty to make sure that I can stamp those a couple times. And then I'll clean off all my things and I'll heat set my cats so that I can go ahead and get started watercoloring. I'm going to use my Kuretake 24 color palette. These are really good watercolors in my opinion. They're fairly opaque, which means that you can see through them, but they're a little bit more opaque than some of the other watercolors that are out there. I've got an eyedropper full of water. I like to use this just to get my watercolors activated. I'll just drop a couple drops into the colors that I plan to use. And I will have all these items listed down below if those are what you're interested in taking a look at. I've got my black velvet silver number 4 watercolor brush, and I'm going to do some fairly simple watercoloring here. So it's Thanksgiving week. I don't know if you guys have plans. I hope that you all do. If not, I am super thankful for all of you. You guys have given me, like I said, a lot to be thankful for. I love seeing all of your comments. I love just making cards and getting just the response that I get from you all just makes my heart so happy. One of the ways we are celebrating this week is we are driving over to Fort Huachuca in Arizona to spend some time with my son, who is in AIT for the Army over there. He cannot come home, so we are bringing Thanksgiving to him. I am planning on doing all of the fixings and, doing all of my cooking tomorrow mostly because Wednesday I've got some volunteer work that I'm doing in the morning, and then in the afternoon we will be taking off to head over there. So I'm super excited about that. So we will be having Thanksgiving dinner in a hotel room, and that's okay with me because at the end of the day, it is not what you're eating, it's who you're with. It's having people that love you and that you love. That's what, in my opinion, Thanksgiving really is all about. So onto the watercoloring. I am doing a bit of a sketchy look here. I'm obviously coloring them to be like a Siamese cat. I know you're all super shocked by that. But this is, I wanted this card to be fairly simple because I figured that the shape of the card was enough really to keep you interested. And by you, I mean whoever gets it. And so I'm just mixing some colors and kind of trying to match my colors to be a little bit more fall-like. So that's why I chose the color of burgundy for my heart and then the yellows and the oranges for the rest of the colors. I'm going to tack down my dies that match along with that Right Meow stamp set using some micropore tape. After I made sure that those were good and dry, you do not want to run this through if your paper is wet, it will just tear. And I've got my Sizzix Sidekick set up, and I'm going to run those through my Sizzix Sidekick. And then I'm also going to take the Simon Says Stamp Miss You block, and I am going to run that through 3 times with some orange cardstock. I wanted this to be sort of an embellishment all on its own, which is why I decided to run it through 3 times. And I really like this die for a couple reasons. I think it's cute. I like the look of it. And 2, you basically get 2, it's like a 2 for 1, because you can keep your sentiment and you can do that, or you can keep the background block and you can use that. And I love how Simon Says Stamp designed it so that you really don't, it's like no muss, no fuss kind of thing. So I'm going to put all those together using my Ranger Multi-Medium Matte. And this is how simple, I mean, it literally took me no time at all. I could just line those up, and every piece, it's all connected in there, so you don't have to worry about the O, the center for the O, or anything like that. Everything is connected. And then I just do it again, and so that makes it like an embellishment all its own, almost like a chipboard embellishment, but a different color. So I'm going to set that aside and kind of take a look at how I want to do those, or how I want this card to be laid out. I decide I want some hearts, so I have the Lawn Fawn Valentine Borders die, and I'm just going to use the hearts along with some Simon Says Stamp glitter paper. I'm just going to trim a little piece of that down, and I'm going to run, I don't need a lot of them, so it really doesn't matter to me that the hearts don't, I'm not going to get the whole piece of paper. I didn't need that many hearts. So I'm just going to run what I have through my Sizzix Sidekick, and that way I'll get plenty of hearts to embellish the outside as well as the inside of the card. I also decided that I wanted to have some backing, so I'm using some of the scrap paper for that Miss You, and then I'll just cover that in glue, and I'll stick that down as well. I grabbed some washi from my stash, and I'm going to line that up, try to make it as straight as possible. You know, all y'all know that I have a bit of an issue with keeping things straight, but I did okay. I eyeballed it as best I could and used my craft mat, my glass mat, to help me get that lined up. I don't remember what that washi tape is. It's just something from my stash. And then I will glue all that down using that same Multi-Medium Matte by Ranger. And for my cat, I'm going to pop him up, just the top part, with some foam tape. And then I'm going to use that same Multi-Medium Matte on the bottom part of him, because I want him to overlap the Miss You block just a little bit. And then I'll use that same glue and my Crystal Katana to start putting down all of my little glitter hearts. They're more of like a golden color, which I thought was fun. It went with fall. And I thought this card, even though it's Miss You, that you could send a very nice, encouraging note with the Miss You sentiment, because on the inside I'm going to stamp I love you. And I'm eyeballing that. I'm taking a risk by doing it, but it worked. And then I'll go ahead and adhere the rest of my elements to the inside of my card as well. So I thought that would just be kind of a fun little encouraging card you could send. They're fall colors, little cats in sweaters, some playing with yarn, and then all those little golden hearts. And I thought that might be a fun little note of encouragement to someone. So I'll put the rest of those down with that Multi-Medium Matte. And I could have gone crazy, but I wanted to leave some room for an actual handwritten note in there. But those hearts are just cute. And then when I'm done with that, I will take some other liquid glue. I'm going to put that on the outside of that heart, and then I'm going to flip over my front panel so that way I can get that inside panel on there fairly straight. And when I'm done with that, that will finish off this encouraging card. So I'm probably not going to have a lot of videos throughout the rest of this week with Thanksgiving coming up, but please know, all of y'all, that I am thankful for you. I'm thankful that you stop by. I'm thankful that you leave little notes and that you put your thumbs up so that people know you like the video and that I get more love. So I do appreciate that, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week. Bye!